Hello everybody. If you're watching this video, it's probably for one of three reasons. You're either a huge fan on my YouTube channel, you're a student in my class and I'm absent that day, or we are probably starting to learn about dissections for ourselves towards the end of the semester. I'm here with my good friend Travis, and he has went back to school. He's a registered nurse right now. He's went back to school to become a nurse practitioner. Of course, he's an adult, and because of that, he has to do most of his classwork online. But through his school that he's attending right now, they have sent him a fetal pig in the mail for him to do a dissection at home. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. He called me and said it would be. He said I could come in and watch and help him do it while he goes through this lab. So I figured I'd share it with you guys one day in class. So I'm going to go ahead and move you closer, and so you can see what we're doing, and we'll go ahead and get started. So, all right. As you can see, Travis has gloves on, as you always should in the lab, and he is going with his scalpel right now to make an incision just underneath the chin, and he's going to go around the jaw and then down the body of this fetal pig. So you'll be able to see here in just a second. We'll get into him. I think I want you to go all the way down here underneath the ear. About like that. Travis is using an instrument called a scalpel. Practically what this is going to be is a really sharp knife. When you are dissecting anything with a scalpel, you don't want to cut very deep. If you do, then you'll cut into some of the stuff that you want to look at and then you'll mess it up. You won't be able to see what you're looking for. So now he's going down the body and around the practically around the belly button where the umbilical cord is connected, because this is a fetal pig. So what that means is that's a pig that was never actually born. So it was still connected to its mother when it died. It's raining outside. So here in just a second, you'll be able to see a little bit inside of the pig. Dissections are a lot of fun. I've done a whole lot of them, but I've actually never done a fetal pig before. So this is the first time I've been around this this dissection before. It's probably one we won't do in high school. It would be awesome if we could, but it's probably a little bit more advanced than what we need to do starting out. So. They give you to cut through the ribs. Do you know? Mm-hmm. There you go. So any dissection, what you're going to see is there's going to be some clear looking liquid that's going to come out. What that is it is a liquid. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's actually called. Formaldehyde, yeah, it's formaldehyde that they use to keep the whatever it is that you're dissecting, to keep it from rotting practically after it dies. So that's the liquid. Most of the liquid that you're going to see here. Not going to have any blood in it. They drain all that out. That's going to be your heart. I think those are your lungs.
Yeah.
On each side of the heart. So let's get a little closer here where we can see. So what Travis is touching right now, you can see that is the lungs, or one of the lungs.
Right lung.
The right lung on the pig, and then directly in between each lungs, that's going to be your heart. Now, pigs their hearts are similar to ours. There's 4 chambers in the heart, so eventually during this video we're going to get that thing out of there and look at it. A dissection is something you should never rush. You should go slow and easy, because you definitely don't want to cut yourself or do something to harm yourself in some way, so you should always be careful. There we go. Travis is breaking through ribs. They're not very strong on a small pig, so it's pretty easy to do that. Again, you can probably see some of the liquid. That's just formaldehyde. It keeps the pig from rotting.
Here's his left lung on this side.
You said you were supposed to look at those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to find a plate or something you can put them on? There's plastic plates up there.
Yeah, that'd be good. So I found his lungs. I'm just going to kind of go upward and make sure I can find his trachea. And open up a little more.
So like I said, Travis is in school to be a nurse practitioner, which is a really important part of the medical field. And so the reason that they probably sent him to a fetal pig is because a lot of stuff inside a pig looks a lot like ours. So it's a way that he can kind of get a look at what he might see in the field by using a pig. So
right here we have his trachea and larynx. That's what it looks like.
yeah, so it should be. Yeah, so the trachea should be down right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be your trachea.
And so these larger veins may be superior vena cava, feeding the blood back into the heart.
You mean to hold it?
Yeah. Trying to get out his lungs.
It might be easier to take lungs, heart, and all.
Yeah. I think you're right. So let me cut up top here. Don't you agree?
Yep. I'm gonna hold that. What I have in my hand right now is going to be your chest bone that connects your ribs, but Travis has already broken the ribs off of it, so he's going right now. He's pulling out the heart and the lungs. Hopefully, we can get it to pull loose here in just a second, so you can see it. There we go. So right there you see what would be the back of the 2 lungs. Then if he turns it over, there's the heart there in the middle. Come down just a little bit, Travis. There you go. And the 2 lungs on each side of the heart. So those look a little bit different than our lungs, mainly because they're a lot smaller.
You also see 3 lobes on one, 2 lobes on the other.
So in pigs, there's 3 lobes on one side, 2 on the other. And for us, we have 2 on both sides. Right. What do we have?
One lung has 3 lobes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So and this is your inferior vena cava. So blood coming from the bottom half of your body is going to run up this main vein, is what you could call it. And up here, where I've cut this off, this would have been your superior vena cava, where blood comes from the top half of your body to go back in the heart to be resent through the blood cycle.
All right, what do we need to look at next?
Oh, let's see. Let's kind of open more of the look where you're at. So here we got all kinds of intestines.
So there on the top, you see the larger organ that Travis is touching right now. That is his liver. Liver is also a pretty large organ in our body too. Plays a really important role. So you can see that liver. Then you've got your small and large intestine that he's kind of going through right now. So I think what Travis is looking for right now is probably the urinary bladder.
Mm-hmm.
Could be somewhat difficult to find on a pig this small, but we're going to see if we can find it without cutting it. Oh no.
No, that's part of the.
Yeah, that's just part of the umbilical cord.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of looks like it. But...
Move the intestines out of the way here. Not quite finding the kidneys. Which they may be hidden due to the fluid. Will you grab paper towels?
Yep. We're not going to tell Travis's wife that we're touching all of her kitchen stuff while we have pig juice all over us, as she would probably say. Yeah, that was it right there, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Travis is getting in
Here we found the kidneys.
to where you can see the kidney. You know, for us as humans, you know, if you were to get hit pretty hard down in the lower back, that's gonna, and it hurts a little bit. That's probably because you got hit in the kidney. And so I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but yeah, there you go. That thing he's pointing at right there, that's gonna be the kidneys of this pig. Again, much like ours, as far as structure goes and things. Some of you are probably wondering if this smells really bad. It really doesn't. I've been in some, I've done some dissections where it will, but this one actually doesn't.
So, I believe here. Let's see where it comes from, the kidneys. And I believe maybe the urinary meatus was cut into.
Yeah, there's a good chance we cut that while we was trying to
Get
pull.
him open. But we'll get his liver out here. So
Actually, is that it right there?
uh,
Is this? I think it is, right here. Nope, just kidding, just kidding. Oh yeah, maybe.
no. I think you may be right. Yeah.
So,
No, I think you're right. I think this is one of the ureters.
one of what?
Ureters. That bring the urine from the kidneys
Oh
down.
yeah. So there's part of our urinary system. We was actually looking for the bladder.
So when I tore this off the umbilicus, you can kind of see your umbilical cord is made of one artery and two veins. And this red part you can see is part of this pig's artery that went through the umbilical cord to its mother. So this is how it got its supply of energy and oxygen. Some liver veins that connect to the liver here. Actually, it's going to cut part of the liver out so you can see it.
So even though this is a whole lot of fun, we're not just doing this for fun. Travis has a few things he's specifically looking at for his class, but it is a little bit of an exploratory dissection. Now he has some of the liver that he's cut out. That's actually most of it. That he sit there on our very scientific tray.
Cut out the intestines.
So there we have the, that's both the small and large intestine, I believe, that Travis has got in his hand. So looks very similar to what you think a small and large intestine would look like.
Give me some more paper towels and I'll get the kidney out.
Yep. You all right?
Yeah. My back will just pop a little bit. I'll try to cut away this little sack around the kidney.
So the kidney is something that's kind of hard to get into because it's so far deep into the pig and it lays kind of flat towards the back. So that's what Travis is working on right now. You can see a little bit. He's starting to get it to come loose. What he's cutting away at is actually just a little bit of fat. Fat plays an important part in our body, helps hold things in place. So it is important to have some fat in your body. There is the kidney.
Crack that up real fast.
He's going for the left kidney now. Probably once we get the pig kind of fully dissected, one of the main things that Travis is going to be looking at today is the chambers in the heart. So we might cut into that a little bit. There's the other kidney.
All right. So you have your abdominal cavity. To the left over here. Part of its intestines.
We got a little bit of liver, a little bit of intestines left in there, but mostly that's pretty clear, pretty good dissection. You can see all the way up through the rib cage, all the way down the pig. So you can see quite a bit in there. I'm gonna turn it just a little bit, maybe that'll help.
I'm gonna take the heart next on this.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
So now Travis is going to, we're gonna move here, get this guy out of the way, and we are going to dissect the heart. Now remember what I just put on there, that's gonna be your heart and your lungs. So he's probably going to remove the lungs from that first. Travis, is there a page in here that has what you need to be looking for in the heart? Do you know?
Maybe. Look through real quick.
I'll try to find one. There's a sheep heart. And here is a picture of a human heart. Okay, so now all you have here, you have a comparison
of the two.
You've got a sheep heart and a human heart that
Okay.
you can compare with. But it looks like here on the sheep heart, they've just kind of cut it open.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see down into it.
You
What
see
you
the
guys see too?
vessels right here.
I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit.
So again, where that blue is, probably the superior vena cava, where blood returns. Right here, this larger opening, more than likely where the aorta was. So where oxygenated blood pumps back out into the system.
So as you probably know, or should know by this point, blood pumps into your heart and then goes back out of the heart to make a full cycle.
Awesome. So, see right there, the inferior vena cava, where I was talking about where blood comes from the bottom, and here top. So superior just means top, inferior bottom.
Yeah, that's a good point. That was the next thing I was going to say. The superior doesn't mean that it's any more important. It's just the location of the heart, or location of where these go in and out of the heart.
It's not surgeon skill, but just trying to get these lungs loose as we're done with them.
I'm starting to smell the formaldehyde now.
There we go.
So now Travis has got the lungs loose and he is cutting into the heart of the fetal pig.
So it's kind of hard to see here. But so, oh man, it's going. All right, ventricle. All right, so you got your 4 different chambers here. Let me see. So up top, right around here.
Hang on just a second, Travis. Let me
Okay.
give them kind of the same angle as what you've got as you talk about it.
All right, so bring that a little bit closer to me if you don't care.
Yep. That should be the view you're seeing.
All right, so your right atrium and your right ventricle. So on your right side of your heart. So your atrium is your top up here on this right side. This is where blood comes back as far from your superior and inferior vena cava, returns here.
That's a small part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not all going to be the same size. So what he's pointing at is that little small section you can see right there.
So as the superior, as your right atrium, pumps, it's going to go down to your right ventricle. So as it goes down to your right ventricle, it's going to pump out into your pulmonary arteries. So when it goes to your pulmonary arteries, it's going to shoot it out of the heart and go into the lungs that it's attached to. So when it goes into the lungs, the blood then gets re-oxygenized and returns through your pulmonary veins back here. When it returns to the pulmonary veins, it's going to come into the left ventricle, or I'm sorry, your left atrium, and flow down your left ventricle, which will then shoot it through your aorta. So that's how the process of unoxygenated blood comes back into the heart. Your heart, about halfway through, sends it to your lungs. Once your lungs are done with it and oxygenated, it comes back to your heart, which shoots it back out to the rest of your body.
Through the aorta, right?
Yes, through the aorta. All right, so you can just kind of see your ventricles are a whole lot bigger than your atriums, which are the top portions or your top chambers of your heart. So your ventricles are a lot, when you feel them as far as texture, they're a lot thicker. It's a lot thicker of a muscle. The pumps are a lot stronger in your ventricles than your aortas, because your ventricles are having to shoot up where your aortas or your atriums are flowing down. So it's a lot thicker muscle on the bottom of your heart. So, and then I need to dissect the sheep part, which is a lot bigger.
All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to end this video now. So I'm going to back off for just a second, show you Travis again. Oh, we're zoomed in. We better back off of him in a minute. This is my good friend Travis, and we have successfully dissected this fetal pig. And next we're going to do a sheep heart. You may get to see that, but either way it'll be on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.